Welcome, Radical Gamers, to Rockstar Rob's Radical Gaming. And this is gonna be part 2 of my Yee's Memories of Celceta walkthrough. Hope you've enjoyed the first part so far in our introduction into the series, which was quite a long part, but these other parts now are gonna be a bit shorter, so without further ado, let's load into the game. I love this music. Very relaxing. Okay, this is where we left off. And
let's get him! Don't let him hit you!
what? Yeah, something's up with this analog stick here. It wants to drift a bit. But if you're interested, I would like to hear your answers as soon as possible, before sundown tomorrow preferably. However, the hour is late, so please rest for the night. There's a room at the inn. I'm hopeful you will think it over. Now we gotta go back to the inn. Mustachioed man. Oh, you're the swordsman who took down that monster in the mine, aren't you? Damn straight. I thought so. How did I know, you ask? Because I'm a genius, of course.
I am the great Leo, commander of the Celcetan army and the finest swordsman around.
Okay, that's Leo.
Don't you start getting cocky just because you took down a little monster while I was away.
Jeez.
If I'd been here, I would have defeated it in a tenth of the time. With such skill and grace, you would have been left speechless.
Oh. That Commander Leo is probably the most infamous man in Casnan. I'm sure you can see why. Amazing how quickly you got involved with some of the strangest, most influential folks around. Yeah. Exhausted, Adol and Durin made their way toward the bar. I think this has been the longest day of my life. So what are you going to do about the Governor General's request? I'm going to accept it. Huh? Really? That's surprising.
Adol.
Say Adol, I have a crazy idea. How about the two of us accept her offer together? As partners? Hey, I said it was a crazy idea. It does kind of feel like I've been dragged all over the place by you today, but I can't deny it's all been pretty exciting. I want the money. You want to get your memories back. And to get your memories back, you're going to need to go back into the Great Forest anyway, right? We make the map, sell it to the Romans, and I get some juicy info while we're at it. Everybody's happy. It's win-win. Sounds like a plan. Great, it's a deal. If we can both benefit, we might as well stick together. Safer than going into the woods alone, that's for sure. Adol and Durin decided to accept the challenge of mapping the Great Forest of Celceta. As it was late, however, they opted to rest up at the inn for their impending expedition. Which, that's us sleeping right now. The next morning, they visited the Governor General to formally accept the mission, then immediately began preparing for the road ahead. Got our map of Celceta. Now I'm sure you're ready to explore, but let me first give you a rundown of things you can do in Casnan. First, quests. Here's how they work. You can accept quests whenever you want by checking the quest board in the inn. And every time you complete a quest, you'll get a reward from the client. You see that board over there? That's Casnan's quest board. And that's the board I was telling you about in the first part. Let's go have a closer look at it. And then these are the quests right here that you can do to give you extra money. Plus, like extra money or an item or items, or to level up your characters or whatnot. So these are actually really, really good to do. Did you check everything posted up there? Hey, it looks like someone from this bar has put a request up. Convenient, I guess. If you feel like accepting it, go talk to him. Might be good practice though, this guy's a little odd. And that just displays the quests, or how to accept the quests from the non-player characters, which is NPC. By the way, you have a journal, right? You can note your progress exploring the Great Forest. Quests you've accepted, monsters encountered, materials found. If you write those kind of things down, it'll come in handy later on. It's always a good idea to take lots of notes. Which that's very true. There's our journal. That's all I've got to say about quests. Next I'll give you a quick tour around town, so let's head outside. And I'll come more in depth with this before we head out to the Beast Plains, which that's our way out of here. And that'll be our introduction to part 3. So there are a few shops in Casnan worth mentioning. That is Billy's Curios. He sells all kinds of items from health potions to antidotes. And that is Thomas' Armory. As the name suggests, he's your man if you need any new weapons or armor. Shall we have a look over there then? Nice place, isn't it? That guy over there is its namesake, Thomas. If you want to buy any weapons or armor, he's the man to talk to. And this explains how to use shops. Next, I'll show you around the trading post. You can enter the trading post directly from outside, or you can go the back way through the armory. Since we're here already, it's faster just to go downstairs. Come on. Let's go downstairs. This is the Goldsmith Trading Post. There are a bunch of handy shops here. Like this smithy, where you can get your weapons and armor reinforced, which is very useful. And that tells how to reinforce your weapons. You use iron ore and all that stuff. And it can make your weapons better against certain enemies, like certain elements you can add to your weapons. It's really, really handy and really useful. This blacksmith can also refine ore into metals and gems if you bring him some to work with, which is what I was talking about. You're going to need them too if you plan on doing any reinforcing. First you look for some ore, then you refine it. Then you use that refined ore to give weapons and armor a nice boost. Best to keep all that in mind. And this tells how to refine ore that you get. Like from those ore deposits in part 1 that I was gathering. That man over there is Goldsmith, the shop's owner. If you give him a bunch of one material, he'll exchange them for an item of higher quality. And best of all, he doesn't charge anything, so it's definitely a service worth using. In other words, it's free. The best price of them all. And that's how you exchange materials into, getting larger quantities of materials. Or like say you have a lot of bones, which is it's described in there, you can exchange 10 bones for a bigger bone. So that's what I'm getting from that. I'm trying to remember this game as much as I can, guys. That does it for the shops here in Casnan. Once you finish checking out the trading post, we can go back outside through the main entrance. Are you going back to the weapon shop? The main entrance is the other way. Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought that was back up the stairs. Finally, we've wrapped up my grand tour of Casnan. What a pain. If you hadn't gone and lost your memories, I wouldn't have had to bother showing you it all again. Thanked Dern for his kindness. Oh, it was nothing. Small potatoes compared to all the money I'll make working with you. Well, that's pretty much Casnan in a nutshell. So time to start planning how we're going to tackle the Great Forest. Pretty amazing view, right? That's the Great Forest of Celceta, spreading out from the one horizon to the other like a vast sea of trees. Can't wait to start exploring it. Well, we'll see how long that enthusiasm lasts. Though apparently you've made it back alive from there once already. Anyway, take a look to the northwest. Can't see it too well today because of the fog, but when it's nice out there's a huge tree that towers over all the others. I'd place it about here on the map roughly. Also, word around the Governor General's office is that the mouth of a large river's been found along the forest coastline. If that's true, it'd mean a river cuts right through the middle of the forest, which would put it about here-ish. These two bits of information are pretty much all we've got to go on for the moment. Might as well check them both out. Up to you where we head first. Only things we can rely on at this point are our own two legs and a blank-ass map. We need to leave town through the north exit to get to the Great Forest. As soon as you're ready, let's get going. And there's our map. That's how to, read the map and everything. There's our mini map we have on the screen. Map completion and rewards. As you explore the Great Forest, your map will begin to fill in. The amount of ground that's been charted is shown as a percentage. This percentage can be checked on the map itself, and a number of rewards are available to you based on this value. There are 10 reward tiers in total, which can be attained by reporting your progress to Griselda in her office. In addition to gold, some reward tiers also include valuable items. See if you can get 100% map completion. And what that is pretty much, say, I'm just spitballing here, but say that you get like 20% of the map completed, then you can go back to her and you'll get an item. Or money, I think. I can't really remember, but once we go out the main entrance, which I think is over here or there, then we go to the Beast Plains, and that will be pretty much our start of what we're going to do next video. But I want to explain a couple things here. Okay, these side quests. Now, you see quest above his head and talk, of course. You see quest above her head and talk, of course, when you get near them. They have quests that they put on that map board. So, and sometimes there'll be quests that ain't on the map board when you are further in the game, that people, you talk to them and you can do quests for them. If I remember correctly, don't quote me on that. But right now, these two people have quests on this map board, or a quest board. And what you do is, you accept them, you do them, like this one, to Milka Fabros. Pretty much, for more details, you gotta go talk to him, the store owner. He'll tell you what to do, you go do it, hand in the quest to him personally, and you'll get $1,000, 1,000 gil. Or 1,000 gold. That's Final Fantasy's gil. But that's pretty much it with quests. We may do some on this, through this walkthrough. And here's some shops you can go in and everything too as well. Like he said, to buy like potions and whatnot. So you go to these different shops and you can do different things. And like reinforce your weapons and stuff. And we'll get more into that as we're into the game, because you guys will see how I reinforce items, you know, make weapons stronger throughout this whole entire game. I will be doing that. So you guys will get to see that personally. But that pretty much wraps up this part of the walkthrough, guys. And I mean, I can show one kind of a quest possibly. So what we're gonna do here possibly is go to Milka Fabros. We're gonna talk to him. That look on your face tells me that you have something to say. Could you have seen my request on the board? That's right, so what is it you want us to do? Allow me to explain. Right now I'm in the middle of refining my finest product. Naturally I'm talking about the almighty muscle milkshake. After some thought, I've decided on the perfect ingredient. The essence of the wild, impossible to obtain from livestock raised, surrounded by domestic comforts. That gentleman is Fabros milk. Fabros milk? Indeed, the Fabros is a strong wild beast which looks similar to a cow found on the plains just before the Great Forest. And I'd like you two to go and milk one for me. Milking a wild beast, huh? This sounds like it's gonna be a tough one. So is there some way to tell the males and females apart? Seeing as we'll obviously have to milk a female, the easiest way to tell them apart is to look at the horns. Males have 3 horns, while the females only have 1. That easy, huh? Alright. There are also a few other things you should bear in mind. The first is that female Fabroses are exceptionally cautious beasts. As such, you won't find many of them on the plains. And if one of them sees a threat, it will run away immediately. So you're going to have to sneak up on it. I see. So you're really pretty knowledgeable about these things, aren't you? But of course, in my younger days I would sometimes milk a Fabros and drink it on the spot. But I can't abandon this shop long enough to do that now. All I can do is put out a request asking someone else to do it for me. Right. I think that covers everything. You got all that, Adol? Next time we're out on the plains, let's look for a female Fabros. Actually, I have a fairly good idea where you can find one. There's a patch of field where the Fabroses are known to graze. Here, let me show you. Mucho pointed to an area on the map of the Great Forest. The spot where female Fabroses are known to graze has now been marked. Well then, good luck to you. And I am a Mayan. And most quests will be put on the map for you, so you will know what to do, where to do it, how to obtain these things, and how to complete them. So we got that quest all in the, accepted. So I think all we're gonna do is accept these quests, some of these quests, and like hers. Okay, we'll talk to her. Good morning, Adol. Did you have a good night's sleep? You really did a fine job yesterday. There's a lot of talk around town about the reward money for mapping out the forest, but there's even more talk about you. It makes me proud to have someone so famous staying at our inn. Okay. Ask about Langrits. Oh, are you here about Langrits? This request actually came from the Governor General's office. It's too dangerous to leave that thing alone for too long, so we've been sent reward money in advance to give to whomever defeats it. So let me know if you happen to be the one. This money's got your name on it. Okay, so we pretty much accepted that request as well. So, that's pretty much the introduction to this, guys. And, I'll be showing you a lot more during this whole walkthrough. And there is a lot to explain in this game, as you can kind of tell by the kind of little bit of stuttering of my voice. I'm trying to explain all this at once, but I really can't. It's got to be like as we go forward into this game more. So without further ado, I think we're going to save it. And that'll be that for this part. just our introduction of the main things we can do in this city, plus the main things we can do with leveling up our characters, our weapons, accepting quests, how to complete them, where they're located, all of that stuff. So, just like in any other Final Fantasy game, I gotta save it twice to make sure I save it. I've always done that with RPGs, because sometimes I messed up and thought I'd saved something, and in reality I didn't, and I really screwed myself up. But that wraps up part 2, guys, of Yi's Memories of Celceta. So hope you guys enjoyed this part in our introduction to all these things. So if you did, please give it a like and share. I'd really appreciate it. And if you like my content now, any further content I have going on in the future, please subscribe. One subscriber means a lot to me. Stay tuned for part 3, when we will really start our adventure and mapping out Celceta, the Great Forest of Celceta. And yeah, stay tuned for part 3 of that video next Friday, guys. So as I always say, keep the faith and rock on.